Good afternoon, inflatable fans, wild campers and bushwhackers. I'm down by, Selby Canal there, I mean Pocklington Canal, and my plan was to paddle out to a place that I like, a little lock, and set up the hot tent. It is a bit windy than I anticipated, and one of the things I've done today, oh sorry, that's the sun behind me, isn't it? I'm out in the GoPlus, the ironing board. What I don't know yet is how much gear this can take. The kayak's there too, but that's a lot of gear. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Better get set up. The ironing board is fully laden, and I've got to admit that went on an awful lot easier than I expected. So what we've got in total is, this is the kayak bag with the paddle in it and etc. It's also got all the wood in it for the stove. There's the stove, and there's the deployment bergen with all the camping gear in it, and then there's the food bag at the front. And off we go. The view up front is a little bit obstructed today by the presence of the food bag. Well, that really can't be helped. I don't think there's any more room on the back to put it. And it's definitely back heavy as this boat. What with all the camping gear and the stove and the wood. Now thankfully the wind is westerly, which means it's behind me today. But what that also means is, in terms of the wind is it will be against me tomorrow on the paddle back, and it is supposed to be roughly the same kind of wind speed tomorrow as it is now, and it is a bit blustery. Quite nice when the sun's out. The weather's been a bit erratic of late, and I've not had a chance to get out. The cards on the table. I almost cancelled today once I got here and realised how windy it was. Mostly because I didn't know how this boat was going to handle all the extra weight. Not sure if you can see that, but we are, when I'm actually paddling and not fanning around with the camera, moving at a steady 3 miles an hour. So it's not too bad. Some swans up ahead, as is always the case on this canal. No ducks yet, Mart. Hello, Mart. Hi, Brad, Claire, Simon, Graham, Dave, Mark in Gatorland, John, Norman, hello there. Also not forgetting oldest friend, Roadkill, Bobby Dazzler, and I'm actually going to do one that I've often missed, and I've been out paddling with him, done a trip on the Derwent with him. Hello, Balloon Boy. And that would be Ollie Webb, pilot with Yorkshire Balloon Flights. He's a really good pilot. If you've never checked out Yorkshire Balloon Flights, ever fancied going on a balloon flight and never done it, check out Yorkshire Balloon Flights. Worth doing. He'll look after you, will Ollie. Hello all you subscribers, new and old. Thank you for coming along on my crazy little adventures on windy days. I've just noticed that since I last came down here, there's been quite a lot of tree surgery. These were really overgrowing the canal and they've been cut back quite considerably. So what's the plan today then, eh? Well, I've got a new stove mod. The last spark arrestor that I made for the stove, it didn't work. I'm going to do a full video on how I've changed this. I've got a new sleeping bag to try out, a down one by Rab, a Rab Ascent 500, which, as much as I love the Dutch Army setup, it would have been a real addition to this today. That I thought I needed something lighter for these kind of, well, just for those times when you need something lighter and smaller, something that packs down smaller. But don't get me wrong, the Dutch Army setup, fabulous, I love it. So I've got that. I'm going to do I'm going to do a couple of cooking videos. I'm doing a special slop for my evening meal. But I haven't eaten today yet, and it's about 3ish, 2-3ish. And I'm going to do a couple of cooking videos, as I say, one a special slop, and then I'm going to do like a mid-afternoon meal when I get set up there. Because John Pawson, who has a channel about Himalayan motorbikes, he asked me to. He wanted to see me cook on the wood burner stove. So I'm actually going to make separate videos for those, but I will show you obviously what I'm cooking today. I'm out in the Wizard's Hat tonight. Looking forward to getting that out again. I do like that tent. Swans up ahead, including one flying there, look. Hope that's caught on camera. Hey, it's coming in. Hey, there it goes. Hope the big green bag wasn't in the way. Really feel like wind behind me. And no, I didn't have curry last night. Wow, here we go, look at that. That was a bit of a crazy flurry. A swan came in and landed next to them, and they all took off. Weird. Round. Up ahead, the lock is just coming into view. Excellent. Tell it's windy by looking at the water, can't you? Way up. We're off again. That wind is really pushing me along. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. We'll paddle back. Just loop that round a couple of times just to stop the boat from moving about so much. Make sure there's nothing going to fall out of my pockets. But I've already moved all that, so that's good. Ugh. This one is a bit more awkward, as I say, because the boat slides underneath the mooring. But I'm out. I'm quite pleased to see everything is still on the boat. Not lost anything en route. Woo! Last time I came here, That field over there and all the way beyond was all underwater. It looked like a lake. That's all the gear lugged. Time to get set up. It is nice to be back here. Tonight, as I say, I am camping in the Wizard's Hat. Here's the modification that I made to the flue for my wood burner stove. Just going to install the last bits of the chimney now. There we go, the flue's in place and the cord seems to be holding it in place quite nicely. I think that'll do the trick actually. Yeah. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? Oh yeah. Well, that's the stove going, and I think the spark arrestor will work. Just in case, again, the rest of the tent set up now and getting something cooked, because I am hungry. But still, so much to do! Well, it's gone 5 o'clock and I still haven't eaten. It is getting about time. Yeah, I've just been setting everything up. I've done quite a bit of firewood prep and I've got the sleep setup sorted now. I'll just give you a quick show through actually. So I've got my usual British Army Gore-Tex bivvy bag with some foam in as the base layer, the termite mat, and then the Rab Ascent 500. See what this is like. It's all down. It was been warm at home. It's supposed to get down. It's supposed to be good down to -6. So we'll see. It's not supposed to get that cold tonight. I've got a little pillow in there, a little surplus. The black thing there, that's my spare down blanket. That's the Zephyrback 500, just in case I do feel really cold. And I've also got a spare pillow. I like a bit of luxury. Give me a break. But yeah, the stove is roaring away. Night time is drawing in. Let's get some food on the go, eh? Although it never hurts to get your priorities sorted. Got one of my lovely customers to thank for this. Little Christmas treat from them. Generally save things like this for when I go camping. Cheers. It's rich, it's plummy, it's bull. I just know what I like when it comes to wine. It's either nice or it's not. That's alright actually. Right, it's time to cook eggs. There's a baggie there with some chopped vegetables in, some spray oil, cheese, and the ridge monkey. Have you worked it out? Omelette. Get a little bit of oil on there. Just to make sure it doesn't burn, what I'm going to do is I am going to close this and flip it so that then both sides of the pan warm. Yeah, because that's starting to cook. That's the one of the great things about these ridge monkeys is you can't necessarily flip everything all the time, but you can just flip the pan. Starting to smell good already. Cheers! I added some salt and pepper to the bag and shook it before I sealed the bag before I brought it out. It just saved me bringing any seasonings with me. But let's Keith Floyd it. Olives have all gathered in one place. Don't want that, do we? Right, in the comments, do you like olives? While that's cooking away, we'll get some cheese chopped. 4 slices should do it. Ooh, missed a bit. Got to get that bit at the bottom, haven't you? What I've done is I've broken a couple of eggs into here. Oh yeah. There we go, look at that. It's looking alright, isn't it? What do you reckon? Add a little bit of filth to it, eh? I am going to cook this on here because I just think it'll be worth it. Fire that up. Okay, I'm just going to close that for a second. Let's flip that over now. Is that looking good or what? Looks kind of naked. Oh, you see, it doesn't look naked anymore, does it? Needs a bit of decoration, a bit of dressing up. There we go. Yeah, now we're talking. Right, I think the fat from the cheese is starting to leak out of the ridge monkey. So I'm going to flip this. Look at that filth. Oh yeah. And what do you think of that for a steaming plate of campsite goodness? An omelette with mixed vegetables, mushrooms, olives, onion, peppers and cheese. Time for some taste testing, I reckon. I'm going in. It looks really good. Hot. I might need another mouthful just to give you my full verdict. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. You wouldn't like it. Oh no. I have no words to describe how good that was. No words. It is so lovely and warm in here that I haven't even closed the tent up yet, and it's still quite nice. As you can see, that's roaring away, and I'm really very comfortable. I wish I could see more. One of the things I've been thinking about tonight is the pros and cons of winter camping, and actually this is the first time, this is the first winter I have ever camped. Apart from last year, sorry, that's not strictly true. Oldest friend and I went out last year around about March time, February, March time. But I've never camped throughout the year. And so this, from 2021, I've continued throughout into 2022 through winter. And I'm beginning to see the appeal, because there's no bugs. Oh God, the midges and stuff, they love me. They think I'm an all-you-can-eat cafe. And they just dine. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I mean, I take precautions, and for the most part that does okay. But it's nice to go out without having to worry about taking those precautions, without having to smear yourself in, you know, Avon Skin So Soft, that kind of thing. Or take the thermocell out. I was trying to think of the name of it then. Too much wine. But yeah, I've actually really enjoyed winter camping. A couple of weeks ago, when I was out and it was -5, I wasn't yanking your chain when I was said the next morning that I was in that sleeping bag, and I was so toasted that I did not want to get out. I was so warm and cozy, and the fact that I actually made my coffee still in the sleeping bag, I think should be testament to that. I thought things would be worse and colder. Don't get me wrong, I live in a flat and it's not easy drying stuff. So I do avoid rain and wet weather. If I have to dry stuff out, all well and good, but I do avoid it, because I just don't have the facilities and the space to dry stuff out so easily. And also, I don't like being confined to the tent, which you kind of are. When I went camping in Scotland, in Oban, and for pretty much 36 hours I was stuck in the tent because it just siled it down. It was windy and it siled it down, and that was summer. And yeah, everything was just soaked, and the humidity inside the tent was making everything inside the tent damp too. So I did end up sort of like scrapping that and going to a hotel. So I am, you might call me a fair weather camper. I don't care. It's about what you can actually handle and what you can cope with, where you live, all those kind of things. There's factors to take into account. So other channels might pull in a lot of viewers because people could go out in storms and stuff, and they've got gardens to dry stuff out in, or utility rooms, houses, you know, that kind of stuff. I have very limited space, but I do love what I do. And at this moment in time, I am thoroughly loving being sat in this, I know I've said it before, but this incredibly well made budget tent. Being sat in this tent, hang fire, having a drop of wine in front of a roaring stove. What's not to like? Seriously, what's not to like? I am fascinated by the temperature variance. 13 degrees by my sleeping bag. 32 degrees up above the stove. Seriously, hot tents are a mix of temperatures. I almost forgot I had pudding. Hey, look. Oh yeah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This tent is awesome. If you haven't checked out my review for this, and you're into this kind of stuff, you really should have a look. It's awesome. I think this definitely qualifies as warm. yeah, it's quite but the bizarre thing is, down here by the floor, it's not that hot. I'm just waiting for it to turn again because this carbon monoxide detector, it has like a cycle. So yeah, it's 16 degrees down there, but 43 degrees there. Nevertheless, somewhere in the middle of that, it is nice. And I have stripped off, hey, I'm relaxed now. Oh my. Alright, put your hands up if you think that's a bit bonkers. Because it's a bit bonkers. I can't tell you how much I love this TV. That is awesome, isn't it? No wonder it's glowing like a glowing thing. It is lovely in here. I've watched a few episodes of Frasier. I've been having a chat with some people on some of the Facebook groups about bushcraft and wild camping, that kind of stuff, and kayaking, about the stove, and yeah, a few other things. It's been a really relaxing night, to be honest. It's been lovely. I was planning on cooking 2 meals. I was planning on cooking the omelette, which you've seen, and a slop, but yeah, it kind of got a bit late in the day. The day got away from me, and it was 5ish, gone 5 when I started cooking the omelette, and that was quite a meaty omelette, considering there was no meat in it. But you know what I mean, it was quite a hefty omelette, and I've had a few snacks and stuff since. So yeah, the slop's off. Slop's off. Can you believe it? Slop's off. Do you know what? Roadkill hates me calling it slop. I think hate might be a bit strong, but yeah, he said it puts him off, but for me it's just a bit of a jovial term about the way something looks. But hey, what the hell. Anyway, watched a few episodes of Frasier. I might have mentioned that. I'm gonna watch a couple more and then settle down. I don't think I'm going to film anything else tonight. I'm just really relaxed and enjoying myself. The way it should be. I will see you, unless something catastrophic happens, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Where did that voice come from? Good morning, bushwhackers, wild campers and inflatable fans. Hope you're well. Bit of an erratic night's sleep, if I'm honest. I'm not overly impressed with that Rab sleeping bag. I mean, it's done the trick. I did have to stuff the Zephyr back down blanket in for a bit of extra warmth, but it's not too bad. Got down to about 7 degrees in here last night. What I am surprised about is it's about 7 or 8 degrees at the moment, kind of at the top of the tent, and 4 degrees closer out, you know, closer to the outdoors, outside. But what's really surprising is that's not hot. Ooh, actually, that is still, there's still some heat coming from that. That's really hot in the belly. That's the first. It's always burnt out before. Yeah. Still got some embers going. Not enough to cook on or do anything with, I don't think, but it's just, for me, that's quite interesting. Anyway, it's time for ablutions. Quite a nice morning at the moment. A little bit blustery. That was forecast. We are due for some rain today, and that's a little bit telling over there, isn't it? Good to see the boats here. And still inflated, always a bonus. That spark arrestor adjustment there that I made, that looks like it's a bit got a bit blackened, but it doesn't matter. It looks like it's done this trick. I'll take it down and have a look at it later. It did get very hot in there last night, 50 degrees at one point. Bonkers. And the stove itself was glowing red hot, and the chimney. But as you can see, no damage to the stove jack. I've said in the review and in the last time I was out in this tent how well made it is. For the money, it's faultless. Absolutely faultless. And I do like having the extra headroom. That is a really nice feature. I was quite glad I found this big log yesterday. Came in handy for breaking the wood up on, chopping the wood up on. I might just leave it there and see if it's still there next time I come. What I've also done is left a few bits of wood around this tree here. See if they're still there next time I come too. And what I'm thinking for next time I'm here is a hammock between these two trees. You'd have a great view over that way, but then from between the trees as well, you've got the view down the canal, which I think would be kind of awesome. So yeah, next paddle out here will be a hammock camp. I'm quite looking forward to that one already. Doing this from this height into this drop, not easy. Graceful as ever. Off we go. I have to say I really enjoyed last night. I was amazed at how hot that stove got. Unbelievable. Doesn't feel like it's going to be safe, but as you've seen, no damage to the tent or anything, so all good. A bit of a grey, overcast morning. We are due some rain, which is why I wanted to get out last night instead of going out tonight. Less to dry out when I get home. Say, so far I am quite pleased that the wind isn't as bad as I thought it might be. There's the odd little gust, but so far so good. And thankfully it's not a long paddle. Good morning. They woke me up, excuse me, they woke me up in the night, did the swans. I heard a right racket going on, in my sleep, which woke me up, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And I was quite concerned. I ended up having a nosy out the tent, make sure everything was still there, the boat was still there, all that kind of stuff. And then I realised it was the swans just making a noise and, yeah, flying around in the dark. Quite narrow on this little stretch. Anyway, I think it might be time to do some time-lapse stuff. What do you reckon? I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm doing, give it a thumbs down. You know, it's your choice. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing on the channel, by all means subscribe. It costs you nothing, just means you get a notification whenever you open up YouTube, whenever I've uploaded another one of these crazy adventures and reviews and other marvellous things. Alright, you take care of yourself. As I say, thank you for watching. Cheerio.